is off to a struggling start in 2018. But tonight, he faces a Minnesota team he has dominated in the past, posting a 6-1 career mark versus the Twins. Tonight, in the series opener, Archer will have to deal with one of the league's top hitters as sweet swinging Joe Mauer arrives at the Trop. Tonight we welcome you to Tropicana Field as this three-team homestand continues for the Rays. Tonight, the Minnesota Twins will come in to open this weekend series. The Rays fresh off the win Wednesday, a 4-2 victory over the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, as we all know, on the offensive side of things, runs have been difficult to come by. C.J. Cron has been a part of that, was a big part of that in the victory over Texas. He had the game-winning RBI. He'll be in there again tonight and moved up to the number 2 spot in the lineup.
And I love what Kevin Cash has done. You talk about playing the hot hand. That's exactly what he's doing. The big man going up to the top of the order, and like you said, for good reason when you look at what he's done here over the last week and a half or so. An 8-game hitting streak that's going to work its way out to an average of 387. 4 multi-hit games, including his last 3. And the thing that you love about this streak is there has been no drama. He's getting the hits out of the way early, and that's what Kevin Cash is hoping for here tonight. Get him to the top of the order, early pressure on Lance Lynn. On the other side for the Minnesota Twins, how about Joe Mauer? Up to his old tricks, namely raking. And this guy, tell you what, 364 average, that's 3rd in Major League Baseball. He's got that up the middle, other way approach. Always very good plan at the plate, and a discerning eye as you see the on-base percentage of 500. He has 12 walks and 12 games. By the way, side note, absolutely owns Rays pitching. Hits him better than anybody else in baseball.
And with this difficult start for the Rays, one of the bright spots has been that young man right there, Daniel Robertson. He'll be at third base tonight. And when we come back, Rich Hollenberg has more on Robertson.
series with the Minnesota Twins, the one and only time Minnesota will be at Tropicana Field in the 2018 season. There's Daniel Robertson signing autographs for some young fans, and Robertson has really been one of the feel-good stories of the early part of this season for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's doing it at the plate, and he's doing it in the field as well, wherever Kevin Cash puts him in the field. At the plate, though, .455 on-base percentage. That's best on the team, and he has one of the best eyes in baseball. An obscure stat, but a telling one. He has the 6th lowest chase rate in the major leagues. All that means is the young man does not swing at a lot of bad pitches, and when you put him in the field, he is nails basically everywhere, whether it's second base, third base, or at shortstop. He's going to be hitting in the 5-hole tonight, and Kevin Cash says he likes to look back on the rise of Robertson.
Robbie's been maybe as big a highlight as anybody this season so far. Just the way it seems like he's come in with a more mature approach at the plate. He is getting big hits. He's drawing his walks, and the defense has been tremendous. But we're going to rely on all those guys that are getting these opportunities, whether it's because of KK's DL stint, Matt Duffy's DL stint, whoever it is, to kind of get in there and make the most of their chances.
Robbie's going to get his fair share of chances, as are the rest of the Rays, going up against Lance Lynn. When we return, Dwayne and BA have the call with just over 3 minutes to go till Chris Archer starts this game off. Game 1 of the Rays and the Twins. Enjoy Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, everybody.
We welcome you back to Tropicana Field, where Chris Archer goes to the mound tonight to square off against the Minnesota Twins. He's had some success against this club throughout his career, and he's looking to turn around what has been a less than stellar start through his first 4 outings this year. We'll take a look at the starting lineup Chris Archer will face, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brian Dozier is going to lead it off. He'll be followed by Joe Mauer, and then Miguel Sano, the third baseman, hits third. Eddie Rosario's in left with the former Ray Logan Morris in the DH. Then Eduardo Escobar short, followed by center fielder Max Kepler. Robbie Grossman is in right, and Jason Castro will do the catching and bat ninth.
Well, Dwayne, those numbers that you talk about for Chris Archer, you see the season numbers there, but against the Minnesota Twins in his career, 7 starts, a 6-1 record, ERA 1.84, 47 strikeouts and 44 innings.
And here is the first pitch of this game, swung on and shot deep down the left side, foul. Well, Dozier doesn't waste any time getting into an at-bat. He's off to a good start. He has developed into quite a power threat as the second baseman here for the Minnesota Twins. Hit 34 home runs last year and has 4 already this year.
And right at the top of the order, like you said, he's an aggressive hitter. But really, it's been his willingness to use the other side of the field that, you know, you start to think about a well-rounded hitter, good average, good on base. There were times in the last couple of seasons, because of that power, he got a little too pull conscious. And that took him off of what made him successful in the first place.
1-2. Well, it tells you a couple of things. Number one, that he's been around a little bit now. He's confident in his own ability to hit with power. So he doesn't have to start early and try to pull everything. And going the other way and keeping his power has made him overall a better hitter.
You know, you start to think about, and we talked about it in the open with Joe Mauer, having a plan when you go to the plate. Enough of a track record against a lot of these pitchers. Brian Dozier knows exactly what he wants to do.
Pitch up a little bit, not by much. And it's 2-2.
First couple sliders here tonight have stayed up. Not a whole lot of depth to them. That's, of course, the big pitch for Chris Archer. He's going to stick mainly 4-seam fastball and slider.
This one is down and away. And by doing that, Chris puts a lot of pressure on himself to be almost perfect with those 2 pitches.
He does.
They're great pitches, and he has a great arm. But when he limits it to that, he has to be perfect more of the time than other pitchers might who have a little bit more. There's a strike call on the outside corner. He gets the fastball and the call on it.
Well, and the reason why is this. He still, to this point, hasn't fully developed a third pitch. So it's been mainly just fastball slider, especially against the righties. Occasionally change up to a lefties. But he also purposely only uses one half of the plate.
Yep.
So if you're a hitter, you go up there and say, I'm looking fastball middle away. I'm going to look for a slider to try to get it up in the zone. And that's where you talk about making it hard on yourself, because there's no threat of the fastball in on purpose.
It's a strike. Well, you can take a look right here how he has struggled against lefties this year. You know, he's been, close to 50-50 righty lefty, but not this year. 450, 18 out of 40.
Well, the way you sell that is you say small sample size. And and find a way. Certainly he can look back on how he's approached a lot of these left-handed hitters and try to learn something from it. That's where you watch video and you go back, you think about the 2 at-bats to J.P. Crawford with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Get beat with the slider on a 2-strike count, and then the next at-bat you come right back to the same exact pitch in the same exact spot, and he hits it out of the ballpark.
Yep.
Things to learn from.
Mauer checks and the pitch is down. 1-2. Sano is on deck. Cut and a miss. And he takes care of Mauer. So back-to-back strikeouts. Dozier looking, Mauer swinging. 2 up, 2 down.
This is where you get away with one because of the stuff. That slider really has no break whatsoever, spinning in the middle of the plate, and Joe Mauer, I'm sure, would love to have another crack at that. But you take outs any way you can get them.
Now Miguel Sano. Up the right side and will be a foul ball beyond the bullpen. Minnesota in 8-5. The Twins have won 4 of their last 5. They've had a difficult time finding weather good enough to play in. They've had a number of postponements.
That was that Chicago series that we had talked about. It's been hit or miss, and a lot of miss.
Broken bat, look out, the ball by Archer. Wendell with the pickup, and so it's a 1-2-3 inning for Archer. Sano out, Wendell to Miller, and here's the bat as it explodes. The bat one way of the mound and the ball the other. Rays coming in to hit. The Rays tonight. Let's take a look at the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealer. C.J. Cron, the DH, will follow Denard Span, then Carlos Gomez. Brad Miller back active at first, hitting cleanup in front of Daniel Robertson. Then Joey Wendell, followed by Wilson Ramos, Malik Smith, and Adeiny Echeverria.
Taking the mound tonight for the Minnesota Twins, right-hander Lance Lynn making his 3rd start of the season. He's worked 9 total innings. You see the walks, they jump out at you. 10 walks, more walks than innings pitched. Does have 12 strikeouts. Opponent's average of 188. The Rays saw him a year ago as a member of the Cardinals, and he went 7 innings and gave up 2 earned runs with 8 strikeouts and a no decision in that game in late August.
Yeah, he gave the Cardinals a lot of innings and took the baseball, had Tommy John surgery, came back from that. He was quite a competitor over there in the Cardinal uniform in the National League. And his first pitch to Denard Span is a strike on the inside part of the plate. Span 2 of 12 against him from their time squaring off in the National League. Ground ball, that's backhanded by Dozier. Throw to first, and a nice play by Dozier, the second baseman.
Let's take a quick look at the Twins defense, see how it's going to line up tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Eddie Rosario, Max Kepler, and Robbie Grossman. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st, Miguel Sano, Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier, and Joe Mauer. Jason Castro will handle the catching duties.
C.J. Cron with his average standing at 270. Comes out swinging and fouls it away. Strike 1.
We got a good pitch to hit during this 8-game hit streak. He has not missed too many of those.
Rays start tonight 5-13. Coming off the 4-2 victory over the Texas Rangers. In that one, they got a good start from Jake Faria, and the offense put together 9 hits with the production spread throughout the offense. A bit of that one fouled. deck, Carlos Gomez. And a foul-tipped strikeout right back into Castro's mid. First strikeout for Lynn, 2 up, 2 down.
Well, let's take our scouting report and take an inside look at Lance Lynn and the issues with the command here early on. He's worked 9 innings, faced 42 batters, and you can see a lot of 3-ball counts, more walks than inning pitch, and that's really all you need to see. Interestingly enough, he's thrown 9 innings coming into this start and given up 5 earned runs. You know, obviously his ERA is 5. All 5 of those runs came in the first inning of his first start against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh in not so good weather. Since then, he has not been scored upon, but the command still has been sketchy at best.
It's the first strike into Gomez. He's come out throwing strikes in this outing, 7 of 7 so far. The shot back into left center with some carry. Rosario back to the track, reaching up to make the catch, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the second, no score.
Field as we head into the top of the second inning, and let's set that Rays defense for you real quick. Brought to you by our good friends at Golden Diamond Source. In that outfield left to right, Span, Smith, and Gomez. And across the infield, third to first, we've got Robertson, Echeverria, Wendell, and Miller. Brad Miller makes his return tonight. Wilson Ramos will be behind the plate.
Well, a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings here by the starting pitchers. We go to the second. Eddie Rosario, the left fielder, stepping in against Archer. Rosario with a home run here in the early part of the season, takes a strike. 13 pitches in the first inning for Archer, and Lynn made 8 pitches in the bottom of the first, all strikes for the Minnesota starter. Two. Bite down and in on that one.
That's the slider that you're looking for. The one where a mile per hour or 2 off, but you get the great depth of it. That's the one that's going to be effective.
The ground to first, handled by Brad Miller. He makes the play unassisted. Well, there's Logan Morrison, the former Ray, now in the Minnesota uniform, our Toyota inside look. It has been a very difficult start. This is reminiscent of his first year with the Rays and the start he had.
Well, the batting average, lowest in Major League Baseball. Of course, slugging is going to follow that OPS. All of this goes hand in hand when you look at the fact that the batting average is where it is. What is he, 3 for 44 on the season?
Yep.
And, you know, you're coming over to a team that made the playoffs a season ago, so expectations are high. Much is expected of you based on the year that you had with the Rays a season ago, 38 bombs. Get off to a slow start, start putting pressure on yourself, and it's not been pretty.
The fastball at 96 was a little wide. And now Archer falls behind him 2-0.
You know what'll be interesting to watch when you see a guy that's got a lot of power and he's got a big long swing too at times, bat speed. Look for bat speed during the course of this series.
Takes a strike, 2-1.
I think that will be telling. Because if the swing starts to get long and the bat speed is not there, then there's just too many holes for you to cover.
Yeah, that was one of the issues 2 years ago here with the Rays.
Boy, last year you couldn't sneak the fastball by him.
Yep.
I mean, he was turning on everything.
And he fouls this one out of play. Well, as you mentioned, 38 home runs a year ago. Great extension and great bat speed. 30 homers, third most in Rays history. The count now square. 2. All-time leader. Check swing and a foul ball in home runs in a single season. 46 by Carlos Pena. 07. It's pop foul back. That's going to carry out a play. Yeah, if you're trying to compensate for bat speed, you try to start early, and then you're subject to all kinds of trouble getting out front.
It not only do you usually not get to the pitch anyway if it's been executed, but now you open up that outer half.
Yep.
You just completely expose yourself to anything soft and away.
There's a high fly ball back into right. Gomez will go to the wall, and that ball is out of here. So after all of that, a home run by Logan Morrison to give Minnesota a 1-0 lead. Well, he connected on that one.
Here's the thing, Dwayne. 2 strike, they went fastball in to try to exploit the inner part of the plate, which you don't see Archer do very much. And, you know, got a bad swing, but then they come back with the slider, and guess what? It's the slider, doesn't have a lot of depth, spinning middle of the plate, and similar to the one that he got Joe Mauer on, not going to get Logan Morrison on the same pitch.
Fifth home run given up by Archer. Escobar fouls one up the right side for a strike. Well, the hanging slider.
We saw the one really good one that he threw to Eddie Rosario. 88 miles an hour with the curveball type depth and that curveball type look. But for the most part, the sliders have been flat.
Now 2 strikes. So a run in with 1 out in the top of the second. Well, trouble with lefties continue now for Archer. As we mentioned coming in, they were hitting .450 off him. Miller taking care of that one. Not assisted. And Escobar out in front.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is a good pitch here by Chris Archer. You know, it's been fastball slider all the way through, and then brings out a nice little changeup here. You see the grip, good fading action, gets the hitter out in front and gets him to roll over. That is picture perfect.
Well, that shows you how effective a pitch like that can be. It's Kepler takes the ball. Down to first. That's handled by Miller, who steps on the bag. So a run in on the home run. Brad Miller's going to open the bottom of the second for the Rays.
And now he leads off the bottom of the second inning. The best news is that Brad Miller's in the lineup at all. He's coming off the 10-day DL with a little bit of a groin strain. His last game played was back on April 8th against Boston. He said he's ready to play any position that Kevin Cash wants him to play, and they value that versatility. Guys, he's also on a little bit of a hitting streak, 4 straight games and 5 of his last 6.
And here he is going after the first pitch from Lynn, and that's fouled back. Strike the count. So Miller comes out swinging. Robertson next, and then Wendell. 1-1. Lynn pitched 5 innings against Houston in his second outing. Faced 21 hitters and struck out 9 of them.
Well, you know, he can run up some high strikeout numbers without being a big velocity guy. You know, we've seen 94. He sits usually around 92. Understands and has a good idea what he's doing out there, though, so he can, you know, plan, move the ball around the zone. We've already seen that.
Well, he was a free agent after leaving the Cardinals and was out there for a long time. Finally, the Twins signed him late in the spring. They add him to their rotation. Fouled out of play. It seemed more and more the Twins were realizing they had a shot at the Central.
Listen, you've got the Cleveland Indians, and then you've got the Royals rebuilding, Tigers, same idea. Chicago, we've already seen them. They're not there yet.
Yep.
And so it's a vulnerable division. There's no question. And you made the playoffs a year ago. They're the only team that really has a chance to compete with Cleveland. And by playing with all of those, the 3 other teams in some sort of state of rebuild, you can pile up some wins, and then if the Indians do win the division like they're expected to, then you've got a chance at a wild card.
And here are the additions. You know, you get a couple of arms like Lynn and Odorizzi. Firms up that rotation. They got Morrison, hoping that he'll do more of what he did last year for the Rays as opposed to the year before or early this year. Fernando Rodney and Addison Reed.
Yeah, how about these guys here? Back into the bullpen guys, closing experience to shore that up. And their pitching has definitely improved. The numbers bear that out. We'll see over the course of a full season, but odd to see him in that hat, huh?
Yeah, it is strange, isn't it? It's 1-1. Daniel Robertson, I think 250. He's drawn 12 walks, and he does not chase many bad pitches. Down on the count now, 1-2.
Boy, it really is all about strike zone discipline anymore for hitters, because there's so much good stuff in the game that if you are going to expand the strike zone, you don't have much of a chance. You go start chasing 90-mile-an-hour sliders that are well off the plate, and you're not going to be around very long.
And the breaking ball, and that stayed in. 2-2. There's Wendell on deck. And to cut the miss. Back with a fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts. That fastball to 93. Up a little bit.
Stay behind the four-seamer and drive it up over the swing. You know, you look at his 2 strikeouts in this inning, and he got them completely different ways. Soft below the zone, fastball just off the plate and up.
Look at that. The percentage of strikes with the fastball topping the list.
Spin rate, baby.
Strike, first pitch strike to Wendell. Little shorthand there.
Well, I wanted to write it out, but I also know our truck and the timing. I would have been writing rate like over Wendell, and that didn't look good.
One to count. Kind of an organic moment there.
It is. You
just know.
Becomes second nature.
Yeah.
Yep. You're coming down the ice, and you just know. Just go ahead, drop pass, because he's right behind you. Can't see him. No, he's there.
Escobar makes the throw in time. 3 up, 3 down. 6 in a row. We go to the third. 1-0 Minnesota. WB Mason, who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the Rays down by a run. Robbie Grossman will open the third for the Twins. And Jason Castro, the number 9 hitter, their catcher, and back around to the top of the order, Brian Dozier. They are without Byron Buxton, who is suffering from migraines. First pitch to Grossman. That's a strike.
That's the second guy that we've heard of here in early 2018. Byron Buxton, DL with migraines. Brandon Drury with the Yankees. Blurred vision caused by migraines.
Wendell with the pickup and throw. One away.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Not in the fashion that we've heard about it this season.
Yeah, they can be debilitating, and you know, these are young guys who want to be out there.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, you get a migraine and you sit out a game or two, but you right to the disable list tells you the severity of them, obviously, and I think the thing that would concern you, and you know, as the player, as the team, is these things they don't have a calling card. They show up or they don't, and you'd hate for that to come at a really bad time.
Try to figure out a way to control them best you can.
Yep.
Strike the count to Castro. And a bit late on that fastball. A little giddy up on that one at 96. Tapper. Derek Shelton, the bench coach. He's the former Rays coach. And assisting Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer and manager in his 4th year as the skipper of the Twins. That's a wave and a miss. He takes care of Castro. AARP's take on Brian Dozier about to step in, and we go back into last year. He has put together a 20-game hit streak. Called out on strikes his first time, and you talk about becoming an offensive force at second base for this team. Ball 1.
We were going to do, or I was going to do the scouting report, Dwayne, on Brian Dozier, and I got run right off of that topic because the truck had, they've had better things to do, and I actually completely agree with him. But one of the things that you wanted to bring up, you think about his position, second baseman, and the kind of power numbers that he has put up, since
2 years ago he had 42.
Yeah, he's had 80 home runs since 2016. 80. Those aren't the numbers of a second baseman.
Lifts it into center. Malik Smith is there and grabs it. So it's a 1-2-3 third through 2.5. 1-0 Minnesota. Ball game. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Hey, get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Put your group in that private party area, just steps from the Rays bullpen. To reserve it, call Papa John's bullpen box. Contact group sales at 888-FAN-RAYS or email the group sales at raysbaseball.com. Wilson Ramos to lead off against the right-hander Lance Lynn. Nothing yet against Lynn. 6 up, 6 down, and 3 strikeouts. Two and 0. The Rays saw Lynn in a Cardinal uniform at the end of August last year. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings. 2-1. And 8 strikeouts in that game. Well, he gave the Cardinals some quality innings. You know, he came up, young man out of Marion, Indiana, and went to school at Ole Miss. And he had some fire in him. And he'd show it once in a while on the mound.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope, you kind of like that, actually.
You do.
You know, if you don't psych yourself out with it, you know, if you use it. Yeah, I think everybody appreciads that. It's that competitive fire.
Yeah, you want somebody out there that cares, that it matters to them. Winning and losing matters.
There's a walk to Ramos. Well, as you mentioned earlier, that's been a little bit of a concern for him early this year.
Well, and all of these misses to Ramos were bad misses. At least 3 of the 4. And watch this fastball. He's trying to go in. He yanks it, and
yeah. Watch him. He's disgusted with himself already. Yeah, he will show that.
Well, you could see how much he missed by. You know, and you say to yourself, "Are you kidding me? Really?" You got to put that out of your mind here and go back to work. And you got a guy at the plate that's been handling the bat very well for the Rays.
Alex Smith, second in the league in hitting at .373. Ground ball left side, backhanded by Escobar. Wide throw to second. Safe there. He was off the bag. And the Rays are going to have 2 men on with nobody out.
Well, immediately what you think here is you got to cash it in, because they should have at least had the force out with Ramos running. And you're going to get Eduardo Escobar into the hole. Not an easy play, but a play that he can make in his sleep normally. And he just pulls Dozier right off the bag, and no chance for him to get back. You see Ramos, even on the slide, was conceding.
So Dozier did what he could do to try to stay on the bag. And Alex Smith will get a hit out of that.
They're off again.
Here's Zadady Echeverria.
Sometimes they're part of the game, and sometimes they are not.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That's just a swing and a miss. Alex is hot. Guy gets hot. He gets hits.
That's right. That's where he had the last one. The bunt.
Yeah.
That our boy dropped for a hit. Listen, you take him. He's second in the league. See, when you're at that, you know, that you have that status, you get the benefit of the doubt. It's like the calls, in the NBA. If you're that guy,
you're on a roll.
Calls go your way.
Yeah. Ground ball. There's a base hit up the middle, off the bat of Echeverria. Ramos heads to the plate. He's going to score, and runners are going to be at second and third. Alex Smith over to third, and when that throw came through, it was cut off, but by that time Echeverria was already on his way to second, and there was no play there. So a base hit, and the Rays have tied this game.
Well, looking for a ground ball on a sinker that stayed up, and he got the ground ball, but Echeverria was able to push it right through the middle. We're going to challenge Kepler out there with Ramos, and it's cut right here by Maurer.
Boy, if he could have spun around maybe, but I think he was keeping his eye on Alex Smith over there heading into third.
Base hit, a run batted in. 7th RBI for Echeverria. Now a chance for a big inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, top of the order. Bernard Span takes it for a ball.
And just think about the way that this inning started. Bottom of the order, Lance Lynn's rolled through the first 2. Lead off, bad walk, and then what really was an error. I mean, they can call it a hit all they want, but Escobar will tell you he should have made that play.
2-0 to Span. And Ramos speeding his way around the bases.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Here for his speed, but he picked him up and laid him down.
And he must have been feeling it, Dwayne, because he's going to run right through the stop sign by Matt Quattraro. How many times he run through a stop sign? But he's feeling it. Look at, hold him up, right there.
Yeah, he's not even looking. And Quattraro didn't want to try to stop him. I mean, that'd be bad for the team and for the Rays third base coach. They'd be looking for another one to carry him off the field.
Yeah, that's a DL stint too. How about Span working the walk?
Yep, throws a walk, and that's going to load the bases. And it will get C.J. Crow up there, or Crone, and he's been swinging the bat very well. Crone struck out his first time, but as we mentioned at the outset, he had a run batted in the game Wednesday. There's his hitting streak going. Smith at third, Echeverria second, Span at first. Crone at the plate. And he pops it up short center. Escobar out, so is Dozier. Smith remains at third. Base is still loaded. Boy, a little confusion out there for a moment.
The desperation to record an out. And you've got this ball right into shallow center, shortstop, second baseman. This could have been nightmarish for the Twins. Ball gets in a little bit on Crone.
One away as Crone is retired. Now Carlos Gomez. Ground ball right side. Dozier, Escobar one, and over to first. 4-6-3 on the double play, and the Rays with a golden opportunity settled for one to tie the game, and there's the double play started by the second baseman Dozier. We're tied at 1. 1-1 ball game. We go to the 4th inning. It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and a lot more. Check out at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. Twins 1, Rays 1. We go to the 4th. Here's Joe Mauer facing Chris Archer. The pitch is a strike. Mauer came into the game 4 for 15 in his career against Archer. And Archer struck him out on a slider. It was a hanging slider that Mauer missed. One of 3 strikeouts for Archer. Now 1-1. Archer and Lynn hooked up. Chris 29 years old, Lynn 30. He'll be 31 in May. And when you look at their career numbers, they're remarkably across the board in terms of innings pitched, strikeouts, hits. I mean, pick a category. Remarkably similar. And Lynn has managed to win a few more games during his career than Archer. He actually, Lynn has put together for his career a nice record. Ground ball, shortstop. Echeverria has time and makes the play to get Mauer.
Well, you're talking about a record of 72 and 48.
Yep.
And that, you know, at the end of the day, and I know that, you know, that wins anymore have been kind of, you know, knocked down a peg as far as, you know, the analytics and the metrics and the way they look at things. You see Chris Archer's career numbers, but at the end of the day, that's why you play the game, to win. And if you're a starting pitcher and you're going to go out there and take ownership of that game, you want to win, and you want that win to go in your column. At least you should.
Fastball is up 1-0 to Sano. Well, that's the idea. There's no question about that.
I mean, you at times find yourself selfish. You know, obviously, when you start a game, you want the team to win the game. That's the bottom line. But you know what? If the team's going to go ahead and win that game, I'd like it.
Yeah.
I want it in my pocket. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that.
Like to stick around and get that win.
That's it.
Yeah, you know, you don't see it much anymore, but I used to love those guys when the manager would come out and the guy just didn't want to leave. You know, and the manager knew it was not going to be easy to take a guy out. There's a cut and a miss. Sano chases that fastball up. That one at 96, and it's strikeout number 4 of the night for Archer.
No, Miguel Sano has had a rough go of it against Chris Archer in his young career, and just getting blown away right there by mid-90s fastball up above the zone.
Sano's now 1 of 11 against Archer.
And I think with like 8 or 9 punch-outs, it's not pretty. Sometimes you have those matchups. You just cannot figure it out.
There's a cut and a miss. High fastball, 96, and that's strike 1 to Rosario.
Well, now he's got the Sanos, the Rosarios going after those heaters up above the zone. He's able to continue that. He could start to coast a little bit.
1-1. Well, Archer had that tough outing against the Phillies when he gave up 6 runs in the second. Kind of settled in after that. And he said after the game he'd like to pitch longer. He thought he kind of found himself settled in. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 7 runs. He was touched for that home run that we mentioned earlier against Crawford. There's the numbers on his last outing. Trying to rebound from that one. Two outs, base is empty.
It's against the lineup, as we documented early on. He's had a lot of success against this group.
6-1 against the Twins with a 184 earned run average against Minnesota. Good team. It's interesting that the team he has more wins against would be the Blue Jays, but he sees them a lot more than he sees this team. So that 6-1 record against this team in 7 outings. How about that?
Making the most of them.
Yep.
That's for sure. ERA pretty good too at 184.
By the mound, out to the second base spot, handled by Wendell. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of inning 4 coming. We're tied 1-1. And FS1, every match live, over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. So a lot planned for the summer. Here's Brad Miller to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Pitch is down. One and one. Daniel Robertson will bat next. Well, the Rays tied it with a run in the 3rd and missed an opportunity to build an inning. A pop out and a double play ball that ended it. Now 3-1 on Miller. Lynn had a little control issue there in the 3rd, and the Rays took advantage of it for 1, but he got off the hook with a double play ball. The speed of Wilson Ramos got the Rays a run. High shot, straight away center. Kepler's going to go back to the track with room, and he makes the catch. Miller with a big league fly ball there, but not quite deep enough to make it more than just a fly ball.
You know, and that's what Brad Miller, one of the aspects of his game that he brings to this Rays lineup. You know, 2 seasons ago, hit 30 home runs. And you see it coming right up at that camera, just a little too acute of an angle there, Dwayne, off the bat. Get the numbers for you. Launch angle, just a little too high.
Gotcha. And Robertson takes a strike.
But, you know, when Brad Miller does come to the plate, he's one of those guys that you sit there and go, he's capable on any pitch to drive it out of the ballpark, and that's an area that this offense has been lacking in here first few weeks of the season.
Did he go? He did, says James Hoy. Big effort by Robertson to check, but that's strike 2.
Let's take a peek. Sinker. Yep.
If you're going to get that call, you got to get the bat back a lot quicker. That bat coming back's got to be quicker than the eye. One ball, 2 strikes. Wide there.
You know, interesting. You're starting to see a pattern emerge here with Lance Lynn, especially against, well, not especially, against right-handed hitters. Likes to run that sinker down and in, follow it up with a 4-seamer away off the plate, a lot of times elevated. Really using those pitches back and forth in concert.
And he just misses down. Count is full.
And that's where you'll see him get a lot of those strikeouts on the fastball. You know, you would think a guy that has, you know, the percentage of strikeouts on the fastball that he does is going to be up in the upper 90s. He's not there, but he does a good job of setting that 4-seamer up. Good.
Ooh, strike 3 call. And Robertson is out on strikes for the 2nd time in this game. 2 up, 2 down.
Trying to go to the outer half, but that comes back middle in, gets the call.
Joey Wendell. The pitch to him is a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
I'll tell you what, watching Jason Castro tonight, being able to frame these pitches, he's been doing a great job on borderline pitches. He's very adept at keeping them in the zone.
And now one darting down below the zone, but getting a swing on it. Wendell is behind 0-2. Well, it's interesting to watch Lynn as he works through an inning pitch by pitch and what he's trying to do. And right back to the mound. Toss to first in a 1-2-3. 3 up, 3 down. Lynn can be animated out there in his own way. Friday night shirt right there. Got the Rays cap to match.
Yeah.
Rays shirt. Yeah, I like that. That whole look there in those couple seats.
It fits.
Yeah.
You got the jersey, number one, but then the Florida floral print, palm trees.
Good stuff. Well, here's Logan Morrison. He's accounted for the Minnesota run. And there's a fastball. He's laid on, strike one. Hit a slider out in the second.
Well, he was fortunate. 2 strikes, fouled off some pitches, and then got a hanger. And got it out.
Ball, 1 strike. Escobar next, and then Kepler. High shot back into deep center. Malik Smith is there, and so is Gomez. And Gomez makes the catch with Malik Smith right in front of him.
Yeah, Carlos Gomez. You know, he used to play center field too, and he took charge of that fly ball. Now you're thinking that's Malik Smith's ball the entire way, but look how far off the line Carlos Gomez is, and they both get a beat on it, and then I guess whoever's taller.
Yep. Well, Gomez a little bit behind Malik's. Pitch inside to Escobar. 1-0. Now a little popper into shallow center, and here comes Smith. And he drops it. Throw to second, runner in there. Malik's coming in, had it in his glove. Couldn't hold it. And Escobar winds up at second.
Well, it was great effort by Malik Smith getting to that ball, making the dive, and initially what looked like a catch. But you're going to see this ball rolls right out after making contact. He's trying to show it. It fumbles out. Rays maybe want to take a look at that.
They might. Yeah, you have to determine at what point has he held it long enough. And the Rays going to take a look at that. This is going to be interesting because one could argue that he had that ball, held it up to show it, and then of his own volition opened the webbing of the glove, and that's when it came out. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
And if you run it in slow-mo, he had it a long time.
They get that super slow-mo.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you your best chance. But you are right. You know, the ball into the glove, down to the ground. It immediately pops up there, almost snow cone. And
okay, now he starts to open the glove to go for the ball, take it out. Meanwhile, Escobar is at second base. This will be interesting. And not enough to convince the crew in New York.
Confirmed, too.
Yeah.
This is like the catch rule in the NFL. Did not survive the ground.
Yeah. And here's full speed now. It's kind of like catching a fish. You can see it on the hook. If it gets away, it gets away. And here's Max Kepler. Want to know the count here on Kepler. Ground ball. Oh, a nice pickup. Wendell's throw. Go safe at first is the call. Boy, what a great effort by Wendell. That's James Hoy on the call over there. Wow. Now maybe that's the one the Rays should have saved it for.
Well, Kepler, first of all, can fly. He can get up the line, a long strider, and Joey Wendell not afforded a chance to really step into this throw because of that speed. So there it goes, and that foot looked like it got there in time.
Yeah, he's probably in there.
Boy, that is as bang, bang as you can get.
What a great effort by Wendell.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not happy he didn't get the out there. Like that competitive spirit. And here's Robbie Grossman. So now the Twins threaten to take the lead. Again, look how close this is, frame by frame. Oh. Well, if you do the old ball in the glove, enters the glove, not in the back of the pocket, but enters the glove. Would have been interesting. Ground ball and Echeverria. What a stop as he was headed up the middle. Run's gonna score. They get the out at first, and how he ever got back to glove that ball and get at least an out. That's phenomenal by Echeverria out there, as Grossman will get credit for a run batted in. But boy, what a stop by Echeverria.
Going to cover the bag, Dwayne. Going to cover the bag. And that ball skips behind him, and look at this. Complete sellout.
I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Kept it in the glove.
Yes.
And then was able to get up and make the throw.
So Grossman is out. Escobar scores. And now Castro lifts a fly ball to left with Carey and Span over the shoulder catch there to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits. Bottom of the 5th coming. 2-1 Minnesota.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. And Dwayne, we got some early action up in the Bronx. Teoscar Hernandez going to go deep here in the top of the 3rd inning, and that's going to tie the game at 2 after the Yankees had taken an early lead. But there would be an answer. Giancarlo Stanton catching a heater down and away and launching it into right field. Expect to see a lot of those by Stanton here in 2018. They go back up 4-2, and guess what? The Blue Jays have answered again.
Wow.
4-3. Don't even have the highlight yet. Just quick, back and forth.
And boy, you would think that Stanton is going to do that with that porch being what it is in right field. And there's a pitch down, catches the plate, but it's down. I mean, he's going to by accident hit home runs.
And how closed off he is at the plate.
Yeah. Ground ball, there's a base hit by Ramos out of the reach of the second baseman Dozier. So the Rays get a base hit and a runner here to lead off the fifth.
Well, it's the bottom of the order again, and that's what got Lance Lynn into trouble in the third inning. And Wilson Ramos, who walked in that inning to lead it off, instead this time doesn't waste any of it. Shoots one into right field. Here we go.
So Ramos aboard from Alex Smith. Smith got credit for the base hit in the third, so he is 1 for 1. Takes the ball.
Interesting look here, Dwayne. It's something we don't see a whole lot of in this day and age. Look at that. The defense playing him pretty much straight up because of that ability to use the whole field.
Line drive down to third. Sano back across to first, and Ramos manages to get back. Bauer coming off the bag to take the throw.
Boy, that is annoying if you're Malik Smith. You know, you do everything right and smack the ball the other way. We've seen him do that a lot. Vast majority of his hits are to the left side, and right there Miguel Sano positioned perfectly on the cut.
And frustrating for number 0 there. Now it's a Danny Echeverria who has the RBI. Pitch is down. It's too close. 2-0. Two runs, 3 hits for the Twins. The Rays have 3 hits, 1 run. Lance Lynn and Chris Archer matched up. 2-1. Echeverria with his RBI single in the third, his 15th hit, 7th RBI, and all his hits have been singles so far. There was the breaking ball, missing 3-1. Base hit to center, home the run. He wound up going up to second base, and boy, that's when the Rays really had a golden opportunity right there. Second and third, nobody out. Didn't get any more. Now a walk, and he's on again. That pushes Ramos up to second. First and second, 1 out for the top of the order.
Well, another chance here, and another chance that has been hand delivered by Lance Lynn. You know, you could see when he's in the zone, pitching ahead and on the fringes, how tough he can be. A lot of ground balls, a lot of quick outs. But boy, if you can be patient with him a little bit, he's going to give you some opportunities. The key for you as an offense is you got to make them count. And you're right, Dwayne, because that second and third with nobody out was followed up with a walk to Span.
That's right.
Bases juice nobody. Get 1.
Now Echeverria first, Ramos at second. One and one. Pitch away. Denard Span came up to the big leagues with the Twins in 08. Had a run with Minnesota through 2012 before going to Washington. Last couple years with the Giants. It's 2-1.
He is trying so hard to get that sinker down and away and get a ground ball from Denard Span and try to get a double play. And so he's missed with the last two, and they haven't been very close.
That's a strike. 2-2. Bottom of the order, providing the Rays with an opportunity. See if the top of the order can cash it in. And a good take there. Another good at bat here by Denard Span. Count is full. Two and a shot into right toward the corner. This will drive in a couple. Ramos scores. Echeverria waved around third. Throw to the plate's not in time. A double for Span, and the Rays take a 3-2 lead. Great at bat for Span. He comes through one more time in the clutch, and the Rays grab the lead.
We said, Dwayne, halfway through the AB, exactly what Lance Lynn was trying to do, and he never deviated from that. Trying to get a sinker down in the zone to get the ball hit on the ground. You don't think Denard Span knows that? Well, here it is, full count. Here's your sinker down in the zone, and Span is all over it. Absolutely rips that thing down into the corner. Knew what was coming.
Well, if you want to see a pro have at bats, what we've seen out of Span so far has been really fun to watch.
He hasn't played every day, and he leads his team and runs batted in with 13, and it's that clutch gene that you're referring to.
Yep.
Understanding situation, understanding right there what Lance Lynn is trying to do.
Yeah, you know, and if you're a young player on this team, Malik Smith or anybody else, Wendell, Robertson, any of these guys, if you're not in his hip pocket all the time, you're missing a great opportunity. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, here's a guy, frankly, when the Rays got him, they weren't sure what they were going to do with him. There was talk about, are they going to move him? They're going to keep him? If they keep him, how often do they play him? Where do they play him? Well, he's been great.
He just does what is asked of him, and he does it pretty well.
Yes, he does. 1-1 the count to C.J. Cron. Ties him up. It's 1-2. Action down in the bullpen. Taylor Rogers doing some throwing down there. Cron is out on strikes.
There's that combo again, Dwayne, and we've seen Lance Lynn utilize it all night when he can. Sinker down and into the righty, and then follow that up with the 4-seamer that's up and away. And he did it right there to C.J. Cron for strike 2 and then strike 3.
That's what you're talking about right here.
The sinker down and in to tie him up, and follow that up. This right there. And we've seen him do that time and time again here tonight.
Now here's Carlos Gomez. And he chops it by the mound. Charged by Escobar. No play. And here comes The runner trying to score, and he is out at the plate. Span cut down. Trying to score on that infield chop. Gomez will get a hit. And the third out at the plate. Escobar rights himself and makes the throw to Castro. Rays take the lead with a couple runs. It's 3-2 through 5. By Denard Span, and he's trying to sneak his way across the plate. Cut down on that infield hit by Gomez. So we go to the 6th inning in this 3-2 contest with the top of the order for Minnesota due up. Dozier, Mauer, and Sano against Chris Archer. Archer with 4 strikeouts on the night. Giving up a couple of runs on 3 hits. The pitch is too high as he starts his way through this lineup for a 3rd time. Foul ball right off his foot. 1-1. Rays and the Twins tonight. Archer against Lynn. Kyle Gibson's going to pitch the game tomorrow for Minnesota against Blake Snell. Snell's been fun to watch this year. Two and one. On that corner. Fastball out there, and it's 2-2.
Unhittable.
Yeah, you stay out there. Tough. You get the call. It's a foul ball back.
And that's the other thing. That could have gone either way.
Yep.
Turns out to be a big call too, because 3-1 or 2-2.
Ground ball, base hit through the hole. So the fastball, and Dozier has himself a hit. Right now, let's check in with Rich.
Dwayne B.A. Joe Mauer's coming up. He was the #1 overall pick for the Twins back in 2001. The year after that, it was Denard Span, the 20th overall pick in round 1 for the Minnesota Twins. I asked him before the game if there's any extra juice for him playing against the team that drafted him and the team he broke into the big leagues with. He said, there really isn't. It's just every game is the same, except he wants to kill this team just like he wants to kill every other team. Those are his words, not mine. And Dwayne, to piggyback on your thoughts about Denard, that killer instinct, you see it on the field, and I think the players pick it up in the clubhouse too.
Yeah, one would certainly hope so, and he's a great element to have on this team for his ability to play the game, but for how he can affect young players. So it's nice to have him.
That's old school talk.
It is old school. Isn't that great?
Just got goosebumps.
Move to first, and Dozier's back in, not to lead anyone astray here, but in terms of those conversations, one of the really fun things about playing the Twins is that Bert Blyleven, who's on their crew, shows up, and you get a chance to chat with him. He talked about being a young pitcher with this Minnesota club, but he grew up in California, and he followed Koufax and Drysdale and Stan Williams on the Dodgers staff. He said as a 19-year-old kid, he went to California. The late Don Drysdale, working on the crew out there, sat down with him, talked to him, and he just absorbed it all about pitching in, establish yourself in there. And Drysdale, of course, was famous for that, and so was Bert. And Blyleven had the great curveball, but he wasn't afraid to pitch in either, and he got it right from the horse's mouth. Don Drysdale, whom he had admired as a youngster, watching him pitch.
Just across the game, you don't see that type of pitching anymore. Not like you used to anyway.
A miss there by Mauer.
And you think about that pitch and how effective it can be in getting outs and setting up other pitches to get outs, but it also sends a message, to the hitter. Hey, this
I'm
whole
going to
plate
compete
is
against
mine.
you.
It's all mine.
Yeah.
You can stand in that box with your little stick and do what you want to do, but this little area is mine, and I'm going to send that message early and often. And it's just not, the game's not played like that anymore.
Pitch down. 2-2. Sano on deck. Stan Williams, who was tough. I ran across him when he was coaching later, but as a competitor, he wasn't afraid to go in. He said in those days, the guy'd go in and negotiate with the front office for his own deal. He said, the minimum is like $10,000. So there's a fly ball in the center field. And Alex Smith is there to make the catch. Holding it first is Dozier. Said Stan Williams told him he'd go in to negotiate in the front office, and they'd say, well, look, your walks. They'd always talk about his walks. Your walks are too high. So he said the next year when he fell behind a hitter 3-0, he just hit him. So the next offseason, he went in, his walks were down. Hit batters were up, but his walks were down. So that took care of that argument. So
smart. I like that.
Yeah. See, pitchers are smart. See there? Using the old head.
Well, you don't have to convince me.
No.
You maybe have to convince some of these hitters. It's so funny, the two groups, you get them together.
Yeah.
Boy, pitchers are just dopey. Not a clue out there. You get pitchers together like these brain dead hackers up there have no clue.
I know, it's great stuff.
It is.
Sano takes a strike, 1 on, 1 out. We're in the 6th.
Well, listen, these are the matchups. These are the cat and mouse games that drive the game. Pitcher, hitter. Let's see what happens.
0-2. Just to wrap that up, though, it's so fun to hear a Hall of Fame pitcher like Bert Blyleven talk about being a young pitcher, and what a momentous time it was for him to have Don Drysdale talk with him about the craft of pitching and how to become as Bert Blyleven became a Hall of Fame pitcher. That's just great stuff. Little tapper, that's going to roll and stay foul. So it's 1 on, 1 out. The count still 2 strikes. Oh, they've got him picked off. Dozier trying to get around Miller, and Miller tags him. Well, they caught Dozier with that move to first from Archer, and Miller takes care of the base runner. There he is.
Yeah, just committed too early. I mean, as soon as he saw a flinch from Chris Archer, assumed going to the plate, and just was caught. Had to commit. Not much of a chance to get back.
So Archer takes care of that, picks him off, and now cutting a miss. Sano is out on strikes. Top of the 6th is complete. Rays lead this game 3-2. Sixth, all the way back in the 2nd. Logan Morrison hit a hanging slider out to give Minnesota the lead, and the Rays came right back, tied it on the base hit to center by Adeiny Echeverria, scoring Wilson Ramos. Twins took the lead with a run in the 5th, and the Rays come back in the bottom of the 5th. The double by Denard Span scores Ramos again, with Echeverria crossing the plate with the go-ahead run. And now we go to the bottom of the 6th, where Brad Miller leads off against Lance Lynn. The pitch is outside, 1-0. Brad Miller just back from the disabled list. He is struck out and skied to deep center. 0 for 2 tonight. And there's a breaking ball. We've seen a few of those, but not a lot. It's been, for the most part, a combination of the 4-seamer and the a 2-seamer from Lynn, which is not unusual for him.
No, I mean, he's got right there maybe a little changeup, but we've seen the sinker 90, 91, 92, the 4-seamer 93, 94, using them on both sides of the plate. And you're right, he has been heavy on the straight stuff.
Cut and a miss. Back with a fastball there. Second time Miller's gone out on strikes.
That was set up beautifully by Lynn. You know, he was enticing Brad Miller with the off speed and the slow stuff away. Get him looking out there, and then all of a sudden here comes four-seamer middle in, and he's able to sneak it up and over that swing. Just another example of showing, you know, how effective pitching to both sides of the plate can be. You get a guy leaning, looking out over the plate, you crowd him. You come up and in on a guy, and then all of a sudden you find him reaching for the stuff that you're throwing down and away. And we saw Boston pitching do that to the Rays lineup that first series of the season. Really jumped out at us.
Yep. Yeah, they executed a great plan. One out of Robertson.
And continued rolling. You know, the Rays win opening day, and
it's half their losses.
I mean, how about it? They've lost.
Yeah, the Rays have
once.
handed the Red Sox. Rays have handed the Red Sox half their losses this year. 2 losses.
They went out. Okay, they played a Los Angeles Angel team that was playing good baseball. A lot of offseason upgrades, playing good baseball. They go out in Anaheim and win the series, sweep the series, outscore the Angels 27-3, and hit 11 home runs in their ballpark.
And Mookie Betts is out of his mind. As good as he's been, I mean, you talk about another level. Wow.
Yeah.
Full count here to Daniel Robertson. Rays trying to get something going and add to this 1-run lead. 3-2 right now. The foul ball back. The Rays and the Twins beginning this series tonight. You see the pitches seen by Robertson, and that's something he does a pretty good job of, battling at bats. Joey Wendell on deck. It's foul the other way. The Rays coming off the series win over Texas, their second series win of the year. They took one from the White Sox in Chicago. Swept to open this homestand and won the series 2-1 from Texas. Another foul ball out of play. Rays swept by the Phillies. There you are. And ice cream and a baseball.
Don't celebrate too long. That thing's melting.
So far, nothing lost and a baseball gained. So be careful with that. And that's a walk. So Robertson works Lynn for the base on balls. Good at bat by Robertson. Joey Wendell. Wendell 0 for 2. Here goes the runner. The pitch on the ground through the left side. Robertson's going to go to third. And the Rays will have men on the corners. Nicely done right there with Robertson breaking. Escobar broke as well, opening the left side, and Wendell has a base hit.
Boy, could you have set this up any more perfectly for Kevin Cash. Joey Wendell, who can hit the ball the other way. We've seen that early in the season. And a guy out on the mound that's throwing a lot of sinkers, a lot of fastballs. And that is executed to perfection.
So with 1 out, the Rays have an opportunity to add to their lead. And the Twins are going to get some action up in the bullpen. Marvin Alston to the mound. And they get Brian Presley up in the bullpen. Now the left-hander Rogers up earlier. Now it's the right-hander Presley. Visit to the mound. Take a look at the pitch breakout for Lance Lynn. Tons of fastballs. That's a combo of 4-seam and 2-seam. Pitch is fouled by Ramos. Wilson has scored twice. He walked and scored. Led off the third with that walk. Led off the fifth with a single. Came around to score. Now he's trying to get a run or two home. Low, 1-1. There's Lynn trying to coax the ground ball, and Ramos tends to hit the ball on the ground a lot.
Let's see if he continues to with trying to pitch him in and keeping him from getting those arms extended. Ramos trying to get something into the air, into the outfield, get that run home.
It's been 1-0 Minnesota, 1-1 tie, 2-1 Minnesota, now 3-2 Rays. The chopper to third, foul. 1-2.
Stayed in. Now that he's put himself into a position here to go for the strikeout. Just came with that sinker and a number of them in a row, down and in. Do you go? Does he go back to that 4-seamer up and away? You'd have to have a lot of faith in executing that pitch because Ramos still wants to get those arms extended. We'll take a look. Yeah, I want the fastball up. Here we go.
1-2, and he fouls it back,
but stayed in. You know, so they are really trying to stay away from Wilson Ramos being able to extend his arms and drive the ball, get it into the outfield. Still trying to crowd it, but this time the 4-seamer up and in, not the sinker down and in.
He missed with it, down and away, 2-2. Ramos, another Ray in this lineup who has initial ties to this Minnesota organization, signed by them. Initially got to the big leagues in 2010 before moving on to Washington. And he's up, 2 men on with a 2-2 count. There goes Wendell, a swing and a miss, throw down, and he is out at second base. Tag applied by Dozier. When Walcott on the call, a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that threat goes away, and the Rays are finished in the 6th. We'll go to the 7th in a 3-2 ball game. Tampa Bay play at second again. Southern Chevy dealers by Kubota. For more information or to find a Kubota dealer near you, log on to gokubota.com. And by your local Ford dealers. Nice little stroll down Central. Rays lead 3-2. Back to the hill, Chris Archer, and Eddie Rosario will lead it off. One ball, no strikes. Jose Alvarado up in the bullpen. One and one. Two and one. The pitch count just over 80. See Morrison on deck and then Escobar. Tamper foul. 2-2. Rays right-hander after his second win of the year and holding this one-run lead. Ground ball headed to short right. And that's going to be out number one with the shift employed. Joey Wendell takes care of Rosario. So one down in the seventh.
Number 99, Logan Morrison.
And now Logan Morrison, who accounted for the first run of this game. And then in the fifth inning, hit a ball deep to center. And Carlos Gomez stepped over and in front of Malik Smith made the catch. So a couple of long fly balls off Morrison's bat tonight. Pitch a little bit away. Fastball at 96 there. One out into the seventh. Two and 0. Well, Archer has not been behind a lot of hitters tonight. In fact, he hasn't walked anybody. Went 3-2 to Dozier. First man he faced and got him on strikes. And now Miller waves Archer off and takes care of that ground ball at first. 3 out assisted to retire Morrison. So 2 up, 2 down in the seventh for Eduardo Escobar. Well, longest outing here for Archer this year, and that 3-2 count he had on Dozier. Just a quick perusal, and that would be the only 3-ball count he's had on a hitter tonight. There's a first pitch strike to Escobar. 14 of 24 first pitch strikes. Oh, 2. Escobar scored the run in the 5th inning. Pretty close. I think both Ramos and Archer were thinking they might have had the corner on that one. A little off 90th pitch of the night is up and away. 2-2. Well, another close one here for Kevin Cash to manage. And now there is the full count the second time tonight. Archer's gone to as many as 3 balls to any one hitter. 3-2 to Escobar. Kepler on deck. And very close there. And Archer hopping off the mound, thought he had strike 3. But the plate umpire, Marvin Hudson, disagreed. And Kevin Cash is headed to the mound. Here's the pitch.
That slider just stayed up and away, never got to its spot.
So Archer will depart here. 2 outs and a base runner into the 7th inning, 6 2/3. And he gets a nice hand for his efforts tonight, giving up 4 hits. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. That's why the Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games. So add a little play to your day with these new games. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Chris Archer overall longest outing of the season. Good fastball there on Brian Dozier. That was a 3-2 count you were talking about earlier in the game, Dwayne. Some strikeouts on that slider, climbing the ladder against Miguel Sano. This time he's going to go below with the slider. Responsible for the runner at first, but right now he leaves the ball game. The Rays with the lead.
And Max Kepler will face Jose Alvarado. 1 ball, no strikes. 10th appearance for Alvarado. There's a strike. Well, the Twins coming into this game hitting .232 overall, but with men in scoring position 200, and with men in scoring position in 2 outs 158.
And you know where it's even more concerning is are they not only at the bottom of the league in the numbers, in the opportunities. You know, you look at the at-bats with runners in scoring position, and they're down there in that 27, 28 range. So not only are they not getting the job done, they're not even giving themselves that many opportunities.
Sergio Romo limbering up that right arm in the bullpen. Tapper foul ball. Kepler last year hit .272 against righties and .152 against lefties. Down 1-2 right now here with a man at first and 2 gone. Runner takes off, a swing and a miss. Kepler's out of there on strikes. Top half of the 7th is complete. 7th inning stretch time, and the Rays lead 3-2. It will be on Rays Live with the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from Blake Snell. He'll make the start. And Orestes will break down Joe Mauer, the iconic catcher, first baseman, and member of the Minnesota Twins. Alvarado got the strikeout. Alex Smith will open the bottom of the 7th here for the Rays. Twins start the bottom of this inning with their bullpen busy. Presley a righty, Rogers the lefty, both up. Smith 1 for 2 tonight, and the first pitch from Lynn is a bit wide. Lance Lynn, 30-year-old right-hander. Now 2-0.
Hey, 1-1. I'm feeling it too right now, babe. I'm feeling it.
Ooh, big cut and down to one knee goes Malik's. 2-1.
Selling out for one pitch, and this one at 90 miles an hour and just pulled off of it.
Yeah, well, he was ahead in the count. Give it a shot.
And still, he can do it again.
3-1 now.
And you know what Lance Lynn's going to come with here.
And Malix draws the walk. Leadoff man aboard. That will get Echeverria to the plate. Four walks given up by Lynn. Echeverria drew one and scored in the 5th. Drove in a run with a base hit in the 3rd inning. I'll give Lynn one more walk, 5 walks, and a move to first. Walk Robertson in the 6th. Echeverria in the 5th. Give up a couple walks in the 3rd to Ramos, who scored, and later to Span, and now Smith here in the 7th. Over to first, and Malik's back, loses his helmet. Just when you think he has smoothed down, he doesn't. You know what I mean? He's kind of interesting to watch that way. Watch this.
Yeah, the flinch, the dive, the oven mitt slips, the helmet comes off. There's a half barrel roll.
Always something going on. Into right field. Grossman will go back. That's going to be over his head toward the corner. Smith will head to third. Echeverria has his first extra base hit of the year, a double. And the Rays really have something cooking here in the 7th. Second and third with nobody out.
Now this is going to be the pitch and result that ends the night of Lance Lynn. Left that one out over the plate. Echeverria let it get into the zone and then puts a nice swing on it the other way, and enough carry over the head of Grossman.
Call to the bullpen by the Minnesota Twins, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Let's go places by Freedom Boat Company. The freedom to be on the water without the hassle of boat ownership. And by your local Honda dealer. Runners second and third for the Rays. Lance Lynn calls it a night. 6 innings plus. Taylor Rogers in the game to face Denard Span. And the Twins forced to play the infield end. Span is a walk and a double. A couple of runs batted in tonight. Breaking ball is wide. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, there you go, Dwayne. This is how clutch he's been. Runners in scoring position. 462, 12 driven in 13 at bats. That's getting it done.
Takes a strike, 1-1.
The ability to slow the game down. A good plan with what the pitcher's going to try to do with you, and just being in the moment and not getting caught up in the moment. Things don't speed up on you.
Takes it wide. Fastball. Cut and a miss. Break to that one.
Where he sweeps that breaking ball, and it covers a lot of ground.
27-year-old left-hander. He was in 69 games last year. And a close pitch there for ball 3. It's 3-2.
That's a very good take there by Denard Span. That ball stayed in the bottom of the strike zone for an awful long time, and he did not offer, and that's not an easy pitch to let go.
Three-two. Line drive into right. That's a base hit. One hop to Grossman. He drops the ball now, and here comes a second run. Smith scores, and Echeverria very alertly saw the mishandling of that ball in right and just kept on coming. And the Rays add 2. It's 5-2.
Well, you had 2 things there. First of all, you had Malik Smith staying close to the bag in case that ball stayed up for Grossman to catch it. Echeverria was already on his way to third. He paid no mind to that ball maybe being caught. It's another breaking ball. Look at Denard Span just sit back, wait, and then unleash. Well done. And watch Malik Smith. He tightens up to the bag. Echeverria is already going. And Matt Quatraro waving him home. I got a chance to keep him at third right there, but that ball rattles in and out of the glove. Costly. And Denard does it again.
So it's a base hit, a run batted in, an error charged to Grossman. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you again by the Florida Lottery. C.J. Cron to face Ryan Presley, the right-hander, and he lifts one deep into right field. Grossman back toward the corner for this one. Makes the catch just as he got to the track. Cron is the first out. Holding it first, Denard Span. Carlos Gomez, Presley on for the 8th time. Lynn charged with all 5 runs. The other runner aboard, responsible to Rogers. Strike 1.
Well, 3 of the 5 runs charged to Lynn were walks. And he had 5 more today. Came in with more walks than innings pitched. That's been a concern. Yeah, because outside of the free passes, you can see how effective he can be. You know, good sinker, four-seamer, occasional breaking ball. But if you're, I mean, at this point, 3 starts into the season, he's got to walk an inning. So if you're just going to give a team a base runner, a free one during the course of, you know, every inning on average, I mean, you set yourself up to a tough go of it.
Foul back, 1-2. Gomez a hit. He had an infield hit in the 5th inning. So it was 1 for 3 tonight. He is an aggressive hitter, and pitchers try to take advantage of that. And he is out on strikes.
First baseman, number 13.
So 2 gone. Presley's retired Crone and Gomez. And we'll see what Brad Miller can do. First, back in. So all 5 of the runs charged to Lynn in 6 innings plus earned. Despite the error by Grossman, the fly ball off the bat of Crone. Then reconstructing that inning would figure to be a sacrifice fly. So 5 runs, 7 hits, all the runs earned. 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. Souvenir now. Way wide with that one.
Well, that one almost got by Castro. That thing just took off. Glove side high save there by the Twin catcher. Just took the glove right off the hand.
Not to say anything about the shoulder. And that's a strike call. 1-2, the breaking ball started wide, caught enough of the plate. Presley has been in the big leagues exclusively with Minnesota. He was originally drafted by the Red Sox and was in their system. Runner takes off, pitches down, and the throw will not be in time. Bernard Span steals his 2nd base of the year in as many attempts. So he's stealing bases as well.
Now pick your spots. Know the guys that you can run against. You do have the lead. You love to get scoring position. He was over there at first with nobody out. Said, you know what, I'll take care of this myself. And there he goes. Castro, everything that he can do. Good throw down there too. Not in time.
And let's see. The Twins decided that they agreed with that call. Final analysis. Rays lost their challenge early. They may have challenged the caught stealing in the 6th. Otherwise, it appeared that Wendell might have been safe down there. Two to Miller. Full count, blocked by Castro. Bernard Span, 3 RBI night, on for the 3rd straight time. Long one, but foul. Boy, the ball does just jump off his bat.
The sound is different.
Yeah.
When he catches one clean, it just has a different sound. He can hit the ball a long way and hit the ball as hard as anyone.
Three-two again. And he draws the walk. So the inning continues. The Rays will send their 7th hitter to the plate. It's Daniel Robertson, who walked in the 6th. And he does a good job of working an at bat. Rays tonight, 5 runs, 8 hits. Minnesota, 2 runs, 4 hits. Presley, who retired the first 2 men he faced when he took over, now walked Miller, and there's ball 1 to Daniel Robertson. Out of play, 1-1. It's Alvarado in the Rays dugout. He got the final out in the 7th inning when he struck out Max Kepler, leaving a man aboard. Archer worked 6 2/3. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. Fastball fouled back, and it's 1-2. Matt Andriese up in the bullpen. The breaking ball is fouled. So we'll see another 1-2 pitch. Presley, now 29 years old. He first came up in 13. 2 years ago, he was in 72 games with Minnesota. Last year, 57. His ERA went from 3.70 to 4.70. It's 2-2.
Well, the Rays really forcing him to work here as this inning has gone on. He came in, got a couple of quick outs, and then Miller worked a walk, and Robertson putting an at-bat on him here. Going to force another Twins pitcher to get up in that pen.
And Trevor Hildenberger is up.
How do you fit that on the back of a jersey? It's got to have quite the bend.
It's almost a horseshoe on the back.
Yeah.
Two. Ball 3 in the dirt. Now throw back to second, but no tag. Back in is Span. The Rays opened this inning with a walk, turned it into a run. They got a double from Echeverria. He scored. There it is. That's how you fit it on the back of that jersey.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, that right there. Beginnings of a horseshoe. It's got to be uncomfortable.
3-2 and a ground ball, base hit into left. Here comes Span. He will score. And the Rays tack on another run. It's 6-2. Daniel Robertson worked at it bad and drives in the run.
Well, just not going to chase. And he was able to lay off some pitches from Presley. Long at bat. Gets a strike breaking ball and just pops it through the hole. You got the base runners all moving. Makes it easy for Span.
The Rays make it a 3-run inning. Joey Wendell against Presley. It's a strike at the knees. Wendell is 1 for 3. Up the right side, that's going to be foul. He pulled it just a little too much.
And you're not getting it by Borowski.
No. I mean, he barehands him regularly now.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He's in the zone down there in the bullpen. Stanley with the one-arm, one-handed stab.
And that's the degree of difficulty is significant there.
Yeah, you can see, look at the look on his face. He knows. I'm locked in.
Ooh, a cut and a miss. Wendell is out on strikes. 8 men come to the plate. The Rays have built a 6-2 lead. Success story so far. He has 12 hits and 14 runs batted in this year. That is production. 7 out of 14 with runners in scoring position.
I mean, clutch and making them count. You know, and he did a great job in both of those at-bats where he drove the runs in. Lance Lynn, he got him to the point that he knew what he was coming with. He knew that he was trying to come with the sinker down to get him to hit the ball on the ground. And he was able to get under it, rifled into the corner. And then there, you're expecting that breaking ball from Rogers. Didn't jump at the previous one that was out of the zone. Sat back on that one, extended that swing.
And now his attention turns to defense.
Gotta have that chart, baby.
He's in position for Robbie Grossman. First pitch is a ball from Jose Alvarado, who struck out Kepler to end the top of the 7th.
Yeah, he really, I'll tell you what, he sets an example. Meaningful at-bats in big spots and not letting, like you said earlier, letting the moment get too big for him. I mean, just calm. Everything's calm. Never jumpy. Not much of a stride. Trust your hands. Trust your plan.
Well, and again, that's an important role on this team. Whatever happens to this team this season, as they go forward, everybody's looking for improvement, development of some young players, and a guy like that can be critical in that.
These are the types of situations too where you get a young player that in a couple of years, you know, as he has broken out and become, you know, a go-to guy for your team, starts talking about the time that he got to spend with Denard Span a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's hard to quantify what Denard Span brings to this team outside of what he's been doing in driving runs in and everything else.
Well, and I think in every human endeavor, as much as you try to analyze it all down, and that's important to do, but the human element is so important, and he brings that experience in the game. He's been in those situations. 3 balls, 2 strikes, count full on Grossman. And I really think all of sport has had that, but baseball has celebrated that through the years, decade, era to era. 3-2 the count on Grossman. And there's a leadoff walk. Not what you're looking for here. Jason Castro coming on. Castro has struck out. It'll fly ball to left. The Rays have the lefty on lefty matchup here. Strike 1. Well, Molitor had quite a few lefties in this lineup, and when he wasn't stacking left-handed hitters down the middle part, he went lefty righty, but he loaded it up here with lefties based on the opening numbers Archer had this year against lefties, and Archer turned in a good performance tonight. Alvarado came on, got the last out in the 7th inning on Kepler, struck him out. Now a walk here in the 8th to Grossman. 0-2 the count on Jason Castro, the catcher. And he strikes him out. So that's the first out here in the 8th. So the top of the order, Ryan Dozier due up, and we're going to have a pitching change brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Catfish Grill fresh catch of the day. And for that, courtesy of Adani Echeverria in the 5th inning on that ball hit by Grossman. That was some play right there.
I mean, the way that he contorted his body, got his glove on the ball, kept it in the glove, then got up, made the throw. I'll tell you, that was next level.
Sergio Romo, the new pitcher. His first one is in there, a strike to Dozier. Dozier 1 out of 3, singled in the 6th, and then was picked off first by Archer. Wide, 1-1. Limited numbers of at bat for the Twins against Romo. He's in here righty on righty and just missed the strike zone there, says Marvin Hudson. Dozier has faced Romo once in his career, 0 for 1. Grossman walked. He's at first. Castro struck out. Cut and a miss on the pitch up. That fastball in there at 87.
Yeah, you get caught waiting and looking for Romo's slider. And he's got a couple different versions of it. And so right there, he's able to hump up for him 87 and just jam it right by him. See that uppercut swing, top of the zone. They're empty.
Fouled out of play. Well, deception's such a big part of Romo's game and upsetting timing of hitters. You know, he's a guy who looks as if he'd be in a hurry, but he's not. And he makes all of that work to his advantage.
80+ saves in the big leagues. How many times has he pitched in the postseason, World Series? All of that experience. Understands the limitations he has with velocity.
Soft liner, that's going to drop into center field for a base hit. Didn't hit it all that well, but served it over the infield and into shallow center.
And those are doing a good job of giving himself a chance. 2 fastballs, and then here comes the breaking ball. You see him get that front foot down. He's able to wait back and just squirt this ball into center field. Look at start to go. Keep the hands back. The timing was a little bit off there, but a great job by Brian Dozier of you keep the hands back, you give yourself a chance.
Here's Joe Mauer. He struck out, grounded out, hit a fly ball to center. Pitch is a strike. One and one. One. Couple of men on here in the 8th. You don't want this to go much deeper than it is right now. not offering on the pitch wide. 3-0. Ryan Yarbrough start to loosen in the bullpen. Nothing doing. Romo coming on, inherited a runner on the leadoff walk given up by Alvarado, and he's given up a base hit to Dozier, moving Grossman to second. 3-1 to Mauer, and he walks him. The bases are loaded. Well, the Twins will manage to get the potential tying run to the plate on the single and the walk in combination with the walk given to Grossman.
That tying run at the plate is right-handed hitter Miguel Sano, who has a ton of power. Got to be careful here, and Kyle Snyder going to head out to the mound to chat about this matchup.
Sano is grounded out and twice has struck out. He has not faced Romo before. Just a reminder, coming up on Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Orestes will anchor the coverage. We'll have the manager Kevin Cash in his press conference, post game conference, and all of that, interviews from the clubhouse as well, all on Rays Live, the post game. Marvin Hudson breaks up the conference on the mound, and it turns out to be a key spot in this game. The Rays leading 6-2 on the strength of 3 in the 7th to expand their 3-2 lead, but the Twins putting up a threat on a couple walks and the base hit. Sano lays off the breaking ball. 1-0. Sano, 24 years old, big time power, and he takes a big cut to lift that breaking ball, and he missed it.
Front door slider, well out in front.
And a cut and a miss. 1-2.
Boy, some of these swings here tonight by Miguel Sano, he's kind of feeling for the baseball. You're almost just guessing, hoping that it runs into his barrel. Here's 85 after he was way early on that front door slider. He is way tardy on the 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
Takes a breaking ball, 2-2.
Well, you've always got to respect Sano's power, but he is vulnerable right now, and if you can execute a pitch, you can get him.
2-2. He got him. Breaking ball got him. Big strikeout for Romo.
Yeah, it just was not a comfortable at bat. None of these at bats here tonight for Miguel Sano have been comfortable, and that one, he comes up empty. And so let's take a look at the sequence of pitches here by Romo. Okay, slider off the plate, down and away. Now you're going to front door it. He pulls off of it and is out in front. Heater pops it right by him, away. Good take there, but he slowed him down and slows him down even more there. Once again, the front door breaking ball. The hip flies open and he's out in front.
Now Eddie Rosario, the left-handed hitting left fielder, chops one foul. Rosario, 3 ground ball outs in this one. He had 27 home runs last year, Rosario. He loads up on that back leg. That's a little chopper right side. That's going to go foul. 0-2. Romo trying to pitch his way out of this spot. Runners back, Grossman third, Dozier second, Maurer at first, 2 outs. 2 strikes on Rosario, who returns to the plate area. He can be a very aggressive hitter up there. It's something that he improved upon a bit last year, but still pretty aggressive. And he sends a fly ball into right field. Gomez will go to the wall, and it's out of here. An 0-2 pitch, and he lofts a grand slam. His 2nd home run of the season. And just like that, the Twins come right off the floor, and this game is tied 6-6. He golfed that one out of here.
Which tells you, Dwayne, that he was laying in wait for that pitch. He had sold out looking for the breaking ball. You had mentioned the home runs a season ago. And look how he gets down and underneath that baseball. This ball's working its way out of the strike zone, and Rosario goes and gets it.
So we're tied now. 6-6 ball game. The grand slam by Rosario. And the Rays make a pitching change. Change brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The new pitcher is Ryan Yarbrough, the 4th for the Rays in this game. Logan Morrison up here, and Sergio Romo has been touched for the grand slam. 3rd grand slam for Rosario in his career, and Yarbrough's on for the 5th time. There's a strike, 0-2. Wave and a miss. Morrison out on strikes to end it, but not before. The grand slam has tied this game at 6. Game, it's 6-6 as the Rays come in to hit in the bottom of the 8th, and they'll be facing Addison Reed, 4th pitcher for Minnesota. Wilson Ramos will be the first man to face him.
Well, new life for this Minnesota team. As you see Addison Reed numbers on for the 8 times, got a couple of holds, ERA of 1, 10 strikeouts in 9 innings.
Ramos chops the first pitch, and that's a foul ball. Twins signing Reed to a 2-year free agent deal. Ramos takes that one for a ball. 1-1. Ground ball down to third, gloved by Sano, who throws out Ramos.
Now let's take a look at the pitch sequence. To Rosario here, bases loaded. Pitch up in the zone he's a little too quick with. Another one that he taps. And all of a sudden, boy, certainly looked like he was sitting slider. First one that he had seen in the at-bat, but with 2 strikes, you figure he's going to try to put you away with something. And he was able to go down and get a pitch that was below the zone and lift it out of here. Impressive AB by Rosario.
Alex Smith pops it into short right. Grossman is under it to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down. 2 outs with the bases empty, and Alex Colomé is up in the bullpen right now for the Rays. Danny Echeverria has been on 3 times with a single walk and a double. Pitch in there for a strike. 4-seamer averaging a little over 90. Fastball slider from Reed.
look at the crossfire action.
It's a foul ball that caught Marvin Hudson, the plate umpire. So he'll take a moment to gather himself here, and Echeverria is way behind in the count, 0-2.
And you can see him give the sign to the ball boys over here. Now I've got 3.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Five runs charged to Lynn, a run charged to Rogers. Presley worked an extended 7th, got credit for the full inning, gave up no runs. Echeverria pops it into shallow right toward the line, and Grossman backs up, making the catch. 3 up, 3 down, and we head into the 9th, tied 6-6. Kyle Gibson tomorrow for Minnesota. Blake Snell will pitch for the Rays. And we'll be with you at 5:30. Our coverage commences. Phil Hughes has been announced as the pitcher Sunday for the Twins. A bullpen day for the Rays. We go to the 9th. Eduardo Escobar will lead off. Ball, no strikes. It's popped up on the infield, and Miller makes the call and the catch. One away. Rays victimized by that grand slam by Eddie Rosario. They were victimized earlier this year on the 7th of the month at Fenway when Bogarts hit the grand slam. Tonight it was Rosario. Max Kepler, and he shoots one deep to right. That ball is going to reach the seats, and the Twins will take the lead. Kepler on the first pitch from the lefty Yarbrough has hit it out to make it 7-6 Minnesota. So the Twins playing long ball in the 8th with the slam. And a solo blast by Kepler.
You know, earlier in the game, we saw Max Kepler and his speed, and now you see the power. A breaking ball that just stays up in the zone around the belt, and he jumps all over it.
Grossman swings and misses for a strike. Two strikes the count. That's strike three. Grossman is out of there. Two gone. Look who it is in the bullpen for Minnesota, Fernando Rodney. Jason Castro. 0 for 3. Ball, one strike. Popper right side, out from second base. Wendell, and he makes the catch. So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Rays will have the top of the order coming up against Fernando Rodney. The Twins playing long ball in the last couple innings. A grand slam from Eddie Rosario and a solo home run from Max Kepler. And they have come right back off the floor to take a 7-6 lead. The Rays in for their final shot in the bottom of the ninth inning, and they're going to be facing the veteran right-hander Fernando Rodney. Ryan Lamar takes over in center field. Kepler goes to right. Grossman is out of the game.
Well, 2 out of 3 in saves in his 6 appearances, 5 strikeouts, 5 2/3 innings. Has given up a home run. The Rays only need 1.
Rodney making his 7th appearance. And Denard Span will be the first man to face the 41-year-old right-hander. 41 during spring training. And here's Span. Pitch is outside. C.J. Cron will be next, and then Gomez. So it's the top of the order for the Rays. That's a strike. Span 4 for 13 against Rodney in his career. Wait on that one, and he fouls it back 1-2.
Well, still getting it done, mainly with the fastball and the changeup, but obviously not quite the velocity that he had when he was closing here for the Rays. 302 career saves.
And that is strike 3 called. Fastball 94.
He saves the best for last. 94. Denard Span does not like this call. You're going to see why. But you see the way Castro, the way that he is able to just subtly move that glove. He has been very good back there all night with his receiving.
And that's why the Twins brought Castro in, because of his framing ability. And last year he ranked 3rd in the major leagues back there.
He's smooth and quick. That's what he is. And there's been a number of pitches tonight where it's almost the sleight of hand. You're like, was that ball off the plate? I mean, he's very good.
There's a shot down the left field line. It's a foul ball. Cron taking a shot at the low wall. 315 down that line, but pulled it foul.
Just a hair quick.
And it's 1-2. Cron has faced Rodney only one other time. He's 0 for 1 against him. And now he strikes him out, up to 96 with that one.
How about that? Yeah,
starting to feel it.
Yeah, he is, and he's keeping some in reserve and saving it for when it matters. Saw him do it to Span 92, 92, 94, and then here was a 93, but boom, right to 96.
Carlos Gomez raised down to their final chance right now. There goes the bat into the screening in front of the dugout. Strike 1 on Gomez. Reed, the pitcher of record for Minnesota. Yarbrough right now the pitcher of record for the Rays. And Rodney's trying to close it. Oh, that one hits him. So the Rays get a base runner. Rodney hits Gomez with a pitch, and that's going to get Brad Miller up. And who knows?
Amen. I mean, you see him stride to the plate. You know the kind of power that he's going to bring. That's the two-seam fastball, and it just runs up and in, and it catches Gomez right in that lat. The armpit. Well, turn it loose, Brad.
Well, Miller 0 for 3 tonight with a walk. Hit the ball deep to center in the 4th. And the pitch is inside. So the Rays have a shot, and with that, Alex Colomé is up in the bullpen. The pitch is down. Runner takes off for second, and he's safe. Gomez steals second base, stealing his way into scoring position.
How about that? Fernando Rodney paying no mind. And a great jump there by Gomez. Little wasted movement. He gets in there easily. That much closer.
And now a conference on the mound. The Rays down to their final out, have a base runner, and Miller up in the count. Pitch wide. Ground ball and a big hop over the glove of Escobar. Here comes Gomez. He's going to score, and into second base goes Miller. The Rays tie it down to their last out. And boy, what a big hop that took right over Escobar's glove. And it's a 7-7 ball game. Escobar trying to climb as high as he could get. And Miller got the hop and hit it over his head into center.
Well, he used that the front edge of that mound as a little ramp is what he did. Hit the line drive off that little incline on the mound. How big was that stolen base?
Yes, and now with the throw through to the plate, Miller finds himself in scoring position. Here's Daniel Robertson. And he takes a fastball for a strike. So the Rays pick themselves up. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, have tied the game at 7. One and one. Robertson has worked a couple deep at bats tonight, including an RBI single in the 7th on a 3-2 pitch. 1-1 right now. Ball 2. Well, the hit batter, the steal, and the base hit by Miller. It'll be ball 3. 3-1. Joey Wendell is on deck. Robertson swings through the fastball. The count is full. Pitch a little run in on him.
Yes, it did. Dove right underneath that swing.
Three-2 and strike 3 called with a fastball on the outside corner. Miller gets the big hit to keep the Rays alive with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Here it is again. Ramped it off the mound and over the glove of Escobar. It's a 7-7 ball game. They tied it with a run in the bottom of the 9th inning. All came with 2 outs. Gomez hit by a pitch, and the steal of second turned out to be very big.
Now that ball coming up and in right behind that left shoulder, and then he's going to steal second, and he gets a great jump, gets in there easily, and that just increases your chances of scoring. The ways that you can score, and then how about this? A hard liner off the front slope of that mound. It bounces up high enough and off the glove of Escobar. And there's Gomez head first to home plate. And here we are, tied up, baby.
Alex Colomé in this game now, facing the top of the order, Brian Dozier. The pitch is a strike. Fastball at 95. 7-10-0 for the Rays. 7-7-1 for the Twins as Colomé 0-2 makes his 9th appearance. Into the screen, foul.
Yeah, and he's come right out with the 4-seamer. It was early in the season, a lot of cutters, almost at times exclusively cutters for Colomé, and now trying to reestablish that fastball, and he's got the jump here on Dozier.
Ground ball outside of third. Down to third. Right there's Robertson. Steadies himself after the pickup and makes the play to first. Dozier hit it hard. Robertson made the play, 1 away. Joe Mauer. Mauer 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored on the grand slam by Rosario on the 8th. Strike. ball, 1 strike. The Rays are 0-1 in extra innings. The Twins are 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. Sano on deck. Now 1 of 5 in his career against Colomé. Sano, who's next, is 1 of 4 against Alex. Piece of that one, a foul ball back. Colomé pitched in Wednesday's game against Texas. 1 inning, picked up a save, gave up a run. Ground ball left side, Echeverria. Nice backhand at the throw. Boy, that's a pretty play right there. To his right to backhand it. With time, he threw perfectly to first.
Here he's looking at him get down. Ball right into the glove, and now he's got plenty of time. He's got a strong enough arm. Drops it right over there to Brad Miller. Tell you, he is some kind of smooth shortstop, and that play that he made earlier in this game maybe saved another run or two.
Now Miguel Sano takes a strike. Chopper third. Robertson gloves it. Throw to first is right there. 3 ground ball outs. 3 up, 3 down. Joey Wendell's going to lead it off. Then Ramos and Smith. Minnesota. Grand slam in the 8th inning by Eddie Rosario. That closed things and ultimately sent us into extra innings. His 2nd home run of the year, his 3rd career grand slam. And that made it a 6-6 ball game. Max Kepler belted a home run in the ninth to make it 7-6, and on bottom of the ninth it was Brad Miller's base hit, scoring Carlos Gomez. And now as we go to the bottom of the 10th, 7-7 tie. Joey Wendell will be facing the veteran left-hander Zach Duke. He lifts a fly ball into center. Lamar is there to catch it. Pitch, 1 out.
A lot of action with Zach Duke on the mound, as you can see, in 5 innings, 9 strikeouts good, 7 walks bad. That leads to opportunities. You see the ERA there of 9.
Just turned 35 yesterday. Spent last year with the Cardinals for part of the year. Oh, Wilson Ramos. No ball, no strikes. Minor into left. There's a base hit. Headed toward the wall. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Hustling to second. Ramos arrives ahead of the throw. And the Rays have the potential winning run in scoring position. And we're going to get a pinch runner immediately after that double to left by Ramos. And Johnny Field will run for Ramos.
Trying to go with the changeup. Look at that ball, ends up down and in. Castro's set up, wants it down and away. Down and away, you maybe get a rollover ground ball. Down and in, Ramos is able to smoke it. Good hustle and getting into second base, and you got 2 shots at it. What do you think right here? Malik Smith gets something down and away and smack it into left field. Here we go.
Alex takes the pitch down. He has singled and walked tonight. This pitch is down and around the knees, a called strike. 1-1. Ramos has doubled. Field is running for him.
Didn't have to be.
Tapper foul. 1-2. Jazz Rowe is up in the bullpen. Battle of bullpens now. Rays with an opportunity. And Malik Smith goes down swinging.
Zach Duke made some big pitches in that sequence. Got him off of the breaking ball with that previous pitch, that fastball that was in on him, and then goes right back to it. Look at the arm angle, the release point. The way that he flips that up there, low 70s, sweeps it.
Well, they're going to walk Echeverria intentionally, so they wave him down to first. And it's going to be Denard Span here against the left-hander Duke. So it comes down to this in the bottom of the 10th.
I get it, but not really. I mean, you get the left on left, but this guy has been so clutch, and another chance to
Span against Duke. And a ground ball to first. Diving stop. Maurer. Throw to first is safe at first. first, and the run scores, and the Rays win it 8-7. He missed the bag. Hoy called him safe, and the Rays win this one in 10, 8-7. What an improbable finish this is. Twins have the ability to take a look at the play, and they're going to do just that. The Rays are in celebration mode.
The body language of Zach Duke was one of, they got this right. I mean, he did not really protest too much. Oh, you see, he tried to go back to it. You try to go back to it, that's when you're going to get popped. Foot comes down a little short, and then watch him trying to reach with the heel. Right there.
There you are.
Boy, oh
but
boy.
It's got to be definitive.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think that this is one of those, the call on the field, there's not enough there to overturn that. This thing's going to be over.
So, at the moment, the Rays have an 8-7 lead, and that would translate into an 8-7 win. And all they need is for this call to stand.
I'm packing. That's all I can tell you.
And in the middle of all that, Denard Span, who had such a great night, he's been so clutch all year for the Rays. And they're trying to win this game in 10. And you could see, and you're right about Duke, from the time the call was made, his reaction, his body language was one that he had missed it. But the Twins will take a look and see, and is there enough there that makes it definitive to overturn it? It was Ramos, you see right there, who opened the Rays' opportunity with a one-out double. Field ran for him, and after Smith struck out, Echeverria intentionally walked, and that's when Span bounced it to first, and the Rays win it. The call, safe at first, and it stands up. And he won the call that gives the Rays the win in 10 innings. It's an 8-7 final. And here it is again, the toss to first. The call stands. He went back to try to find the bag, and Span safe at first. And here's the celebration after the review. 8-11-0 for the Rays, 7-7-2 for Minnesota. Colomé will get the win, Duke the loss. Took 3 hours and 30 minutes to play this extra inning game, and it was a battle. The Rays saw Minnesota come back to tie it on the grand slam, and the Rays win it in 10. Rich Hollenberg standing by with Denard Span right now. Rich.
Thank you, Dwayne. Your 5th RBI of the night, Denard Span. That has to go down as one of the oddest ways to end a game and one of the oddest RBIs you ever had in your career.
Most definitely, but you know what? We'll take it, man. It was a hard-fought win. You know, both teams played good, went back and forth, and, you know, we were able to come on top, man.
You've been on a little bit of a roll batting at the top of this order. I talked to you before the game about playing against Minnesota. You said it doesn't matter that they were the team that drafted you. You just want to go out and kill every team. And Dwayne and BA were talking about the fact that they need more of that kind of fire in the clubhouse. What's your sense of the clubhouse chemistry right now?
I think we're in a good place right now. You know, everybody's feeling confident. We've lost some tough games early on so far this season, but they've been a good team. So I like where we are.
Everybody talks about you as one of the elder statesmen on a young Rays team. You were busting it up the first baseline just now.
Yeah, I still got it, man. You got to be smart. You know, in old age, you got to be wise and you know, save your bullets for when they count.
Now, when you cross first base, Did you think you were safe? Did you have any idea?
No, most definitely. It looked like he missed the bag, and I could tell, you know, he was searching for it, and, you know, I just hustled, try to get to the bag before he did. And
then after the umpire review, what was the reaction like?
Oh, man, I was excited, man. We were ready to go home. It's about 10:45, and ready to go home and tee him up tomorrow.
Well, it's only a couple of weeks into the season, but Denard Span is providing some magic for the Rays. They win it in extras. Denard Span, the star of the game.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. Rays winners tonight, an extra inning victory. It's an 8-7 final. Same two teams tomorrow in the middle game of this series when Blake Snell goes to the hill against Kyle Gibson. Rod Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Thanks for looking in. Rays Live, the post game is next.